how did communities and civilizations begin to form is a question that takes us back to the roots of human experience. Humans are naturally social animals. We live in groups. None of us really have the resources as individuals to function and survive in the world. We have those resources as a community. And I think you can trace the human story as far back as you can possibly trace it, and you're going to find that community is part of it. And for a very long time, those communities were communities of hunter-gatherers. And it's interesting, if you go back to the Upper Paleolithic, that we find almost no evidence for warfare. We find almost no evidence for the greedy acquisition of material goods, rather a living in harmony with nature and a living off the land, but living as a community, small communities which are self-sufficient, which interrelate with other communities, but which do not make war upon them. There's no sign of that. Something else enters the human story in the period that academics call the Neolithic, when we get the, supposedly, and I think this whole history needs to be looked at very, very carefully, but when we get supposedly the first agricultural communities that are, unlike hunter-gatherer communities, these agricultural communities are generating surpluses. Those surpluses allow specialist skills to emerge. Astronomers, priests, architects, designers can suddenly be supported by the community and can exercise their skills in the benefit of the community. That sounds like a really good thing, but it's unfortunately in the Neolithic exactly when that begins to happen that we get the evidence for warfare, for one community seeking to dominate and control another. And I think what a long look at the past says is that that is not inevitable to the human condition. We don't have to go that way. We can live in organized societies. We can benefit from large communities pooling their intelligence and their skills. We can benefit from all of that without becoming destructive and murderous. It's a matter of waking up and making the choice. Look, we're creatures of this planet. We are bound into the rhythms of this planet, and the ultimate, obvious, immediate, present rhythm is the rhythm of day and night. That for some hours, the side of the planet we're sitting on faces the sun, and as it revolves, it then faces darkness. So we have night and day, and it's part of all our biorhythms. I mean, you try and ignore night and day for too long, and you'll find that it has a very disturbing effect on your psyche. So I think we should never forget that we're creatures of the earth. We are part of this sacred realm, this gorgeous, beautiful garden of a planet, you know, this blue, lush, wondrous, beautiful planet that is floating like a bubble in space and preserving life. So of course we're part of the planet. We're not aliens here. We belong here. We emerged from this planet. We are, in a way, an important part of the consciousness of this planet. I'm not saying we're the only part. Consciousness is everywhere, but we're an important part of it. And because we have made ourselves so powerful, almost to the point where humanity has become a geological force, our consciousness and our behavior is a really important matter to consider if we're considering the future of the planet. So we should never forget, this planet is our home. We emerged from it. And this is, in my view, not an accidental process. It's a part of the whole universe coming awake. We are locked into the rhythms of this planet, whether it's night and day, whether it's the annual course of the Earth around the sun, which gives us the seasons. Beautifully and amazingly, the Earth is tilted on its axis at an angle of 23.5 degrees. For that reason, we have seasons. If the Earth was perfectly upright on its axis, we would not have seasons. But we have seasons because of the tilt. It's almost as though the universe conspired to create a beautiful home for life. It's almost like it was a project to create a place where life could flourish, where consciousness could grow and consciousness could develop. We need to remember that we're part of the earth, we're part of the consciousness of the earth, but we also need to remember that other forces are at work which seek to shut human consciousness down. And part of our duty and part of our responsibility as creatures of the earth is to resist those forces that shut down our consciousness, because it's the earth that has given us our consciousness. The most important thing that we can teach our children is think for yourself. Never accept any idea off the peg, just because it comes from a respected individual or Dr. X or Professor Y or a government figure or anybody, just because it comes from Graham Hancock. Don't accept any ideas off the peg. Think for yourself. Work things out. That's what your brain is for. Use it. Get out there. Exercise it. Never react in an automatic, impulsive way, but think why you're reacting in the way you react. Often you'll find that institutions, organizations in our society are deliberately pressing buttons designed to provoke knee-jerk reactions. And the knee-jerk reaction is the last thing of being human. We have to react in a thought-out way and understand what we're doing. So the most important message for young people is think for yourselves, equip yourself with the tools to think for yourself. Never rely on any guru. Never put your trust in any individual who says that he or she knows how things are, because nobody really knows how things are. We're all on our individual life journey, and we're not here to be meat robots doing the business of the state or the big corporations. We are here to have an experience that will have, I believe, a profound long-term effect beyond this life on ourselves and on the universe as a whole. It's a sacred purpose that we're here to fulfill. And we have been equipped with certain facilities, including intelligence, in order to fulfill that sacred purpose. Use it. Think for yourself. Be your own leader. You don't need leaders. Why do we need leaders? Why do we need to be led? I've heard some say, oh, well, most people need leaders. Why do most people need leaders? We all have these huge brains. We all have this heart and this soul. What do we need to be led for? And when we look at the work of leaders over the centuries, over the millennia, there's very little in it that's good. Most of it's bad and harmful. Most of it's about the ego of the leader. I think that we're coming to a time in the human story when we need to dispense with leadership. We need to realize that we are our own guides and our own leaders. And if we do that, then the future will be much brighter than if we stay locked in the old paradigm of top-down control, structure, hierarchy, leadership and gurus. That's why we have to take that next step. You know, we have to detach ourselves from the existing order of things. The existing order of things is profoundly negative for the human spirit. There's nothing in it that's good as far as I can see. It's all bad. And it comes first from saying, I am a free individual. I am here to learn. I am here on a sacred journey. Nobody should get in the way of that. Nobody should tell me how to run my journey. I should run my journey myself.
To stay up to date with our latest videos, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking the button above this video.